So like I said in the video I made about Kwame Brown a few days ago, Kwame is an ex-NBA player who was drafted first in the 2001 NBA draft coming right out of high school. During his 13 years in the NBA, Kwame was subject to a lot of ridicule from fans and popular figures within sports media due to the fact that many felt like he underperformed during his career. Most notably ESPN's Stephen A. Smith, who has become a staple to the sports network over the last decade. Stephen A. went on hundreds of rants over the last 20 years talking down on the play of Kwame Brown. He toured college campuses discussing the topic, and even became a trademark of Stephen A's to call him a bona fide scrub and bring him up anytime he speaks on NBA draft pick. Stephen A's criticisms and name-calling of Kwame Brown was an attitude that spread like wildfire, and pretty soon fans and other people involved in the NBA media were following suit, as this man Kwame Brown became a punching bag for Stephen A and his contemporaries, because honestly making fun of him was great for your ratings.
No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball. He's got bad feet. He can't really move, even though he's mobile. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a post move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever. Plays no defense. Doesn't have the heart, the passion, or anything that comes with it.
And now that it's been over 20 years since that draft night, and over 7 years since Kwame Brown played professional basketball, he's gunning for everyone who had something bad to say about him. And I personally think Stephen A was at the top of this list. He was basically shitting all over him, constantly saying not only his basketball play, but his life in general was trash. I don't know about y'all, but anyone who's made $70 million by the time they're 32 is very successful in my opinion. Kwame has expressed that he feels like he pretty much gifted Stephen A his entire career, and that he exploited him and lied on his name to boost the ratings for his show. He felt like Stephen A was so critical of his play so early on in his career that he made other teams in the NBA wary of having faith in him and his ability to improve. He also says that Stephen A is basically trying to tear down black athletes, and that he apparently never has the same energy for their white counterparts. And I can definitely see where he's coming from. Remember, this man Kwame was only 18 when he came into the league. He went from sitting in algebra and chemistry class one day to being thrust into the NBA and the spotlight all in 1 year's time. It also really didn't help that he was playing on the same team as the recently relocated Michael Jordan, who is a notorious douchebag of a veteran player, and he didn't even want Kwame on his team. This was a kid who grew up poor and looking for a way to provide a better life for his mother and those around him. And here comes Stephen A to tear him down time and time again, even after he left the NBA.
He had an entourage? Kwame Brown? What is this world? What is this world coming to?
The best part of the story is your first NBA bucket came against Kwame Brown. Too good to be true.
Well, that ain't hard to do.
And while Stephen A was speaking on him all of those years, Kwame chose to stay silent and just let the punches keep rolling. That is until recently, when he started giving Stephen A taste of his own medicine, saying that he's nothing but a fraud who has never done anything productive in his entire life, and that he has no talent and is nothing but discouraging to black athletes.
As son of a like you that ain't never did a motherfucking thing in his real life, what have you done to talk so arrogant, you little stupid son of a... You got your coach fired in college. The nigga you talk about the most made you the most money. I'm still better than you. You made your most money talking about me.
And while I do see where he is coming from, you do have to remember that these guys on TV are entertainers. I mean, imagine how boring it would be if you just turned it on and they talked about the exact stats. I mean, do you really think that Skip Bayless hates LeBron that much? Or that Shannon Sharp despises the Cowboys that way? Part of this all is entertainment, and whatever drives the numbers, drives the numbers. And I feel like if any #1 pick underperformed this way, whether they be black or white, they would have been talked about in a very negative light. But Stephen A really did pile it on, traveling to different colleges, talking shit about Kwame.
You with your scrub no offense having sex. Just said that. I mean, that's just blasphemy. You should apologize for bringing that up. How are you in the league for 10 years and you're still the same scrub you were in 2001?
And 20 years of that ridicule would probably get to almost anyone, especially when he had been out of the league for 7 years and Stephen A still had his name in his mouth. Regardless, the ESPN host has since then responded via his show Stephen A's World, and he's not only called out Kwame once again for his poor play, but is also here to stand up for everyone else Kwame has been gunning after.
talking a whole bunch of smack, saying we don't support black men. Really? The only negative thing anybody ever said about Kwame Brown is that he couldn't play a lick of basketball.
And he followed this by showing a blooper reel of Kwame's lowlights during his NBA career, making fun of him the entire time and basically saying it's not my fault you were a failure in the NBA, that's on you. And honestly, anyone who played for 13 years is gonna have a blooper reel. This was pretty corny to me, and something ESPN probably made him do. And he also noted that the $63 million Kwame made during his career was much more than he should have made in the first place.
Every single comment has been about your game. Nothing personal. I'm not gonna call you a scrub. I'm gonna roll with my man Jalen Rose and others. Okay, we'll refrain. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams. No scrub, no bust. We're not gonna say that.
So he just went on and on talking about his poor play, and honestly he never really discussed Kwame Brown's main discrepancy, that these sports analysts have harsher critiques for black players than their white contemporaries, and that Stephen A is just a puppet to the system. I mean, what do you guys really think about that? Do they really tend to criticize black athletes more than white ones? Let me know down in the comments. And I don't even think we'll ever get a response to those comments from Stephen A besides merely brushing them to the side. Kwame did have an immediate response though via YouTube Live, and this is what he had to say.
And by your own admission, you sat there and said that some white guy, a coach, told you I couldn't play, told you I had a small hand. And even in the Roy Hibbert video, you little bitch, black boys were coming out of high school at an alarming rate. It was 5 my year, and there were more the following year. And then the next thing you know, there's a smear campaign on Mr. Kwame Brown, and everything he did was wrong. Everything he said was wrong. And then next thing you know, we had college campuses. Next thing you know, we got a one and done rule. Next thing you know, we have a G League. Next thing you know, your bitch ass back under control. But you know what else people are gonna realize about Stephen A is that he has no real talent. And once he can't be that little effeminate personality to where he's disrespecting black men the way he was, when he has to be a little more humble and not more ladylike, where he's Kwame Brown and disrespecting men and not calling them the name that their mama gave them. Once he have to respect men, other men, because my time has passed, but once he have to respect these other young men and not disrespect their brand, I've done my job.
So let me know what you guys think about what these two guys had to say. No one's safe out here in these streets from this man Kwame, okay? He's coming for everyone's neck. As always, I do want to thank you guys for dropping a like today and subscribing. I encourage you to go follow me on my social medias. That's at JAMARI Speaks on both Twitter and Instagram. And as you guys know, there's some other news out here that needs to get covered. So it's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and I'm out. Peace!